Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44. Yesterday I had a day off, and to be honest with you, I got a chance to watch an actual basketball game, a full game. I watched the Lakers and the Hornets. I got a chance to see my own team. Now, one would think that I watch all the basketball in the world with as much basketball as I talk, but the reality is, and I'm sure if you've been following me closely, you know this, but I haven't watched a whole lot of basketball at all. I'm getting a whole lot of my information from YouTube. I'm getting most of my opinions about players right now from fantasy basketball, from which stats only tell you a short, uh, just one angle of a very, very big piece to see. So for me, um, it was a real treat to get a chance to see those two teams. Not only because obviously it's my squad, but it's literally my second favorite team to watch this year. I know highlights, but my second favorite team to watch this year has been the Charlotte Hornets. So to get a day off where I could just sit down and literally watch my team play against the other team that I really enjoy watching this year, um, couldn't have asked for better circumstances for my off day. So with that being said, the Lakers did get the victory against the Hornets. Both the superstars on the floor did not disappoint. LeBron James went off for 35 and a bunch of everything. And LaMelo, I think, went off for 25 and a bunch of everything. Um, the Hornets didn't roll over. They gave us a tough battle the whole way. The Lakers showed up like they were playing against a real team. And that was the thing about that game last night. You could tell that Lonzo's brother, LaMelo, has the it factor because there are not many teams that make our team wake up like the Hornets did yesterday. We were wide awake for that one. Guys didn't play perfect, but they were definitely involved. They were definitely engaged. They definitely were invested in that basketball game. And that, the only difference between the Hornets last year and the Hornets this year is that kid. And quite honestly, he's a huge difference because they are a winning basketball team with him. Um, and that's the gist of it. He did what he does, although I thought there were times on the floor, particularly down the stretch of the game in the fourth quarter, where I didn't see him. And I thought that was a little strange. Now, granted, they have a point guard frenzy going on down there with Scary Terry and Devontae Graham, who's recently back from injury. So they're trying to work Devontae back into the rotation to make sure that he's able to get back to his old form. He's had a tough season for his standards. He hasn't really taken well basketball-wise to LaMelo's presence. I'm not talking about off the court or chemistry. I'm just talking about like on the floor. Is he playing well while LaMelo's out there? Nah, he hasn't had hadn't had his mojo this year. But the good thing about Devontae Graham is that he showed us enough last year to know what he is. That was not a fluke. I haven't lost faith in Devontae Graham by a long shot. That is a cold-blooded, murderous killer, and he just needs to get in shape. And once he does that, he's going to get right back to his straightaway threes and all that stuff that he does that just devastates a defense. I mean, I'm a believer in Devontae Graham. I know that he's not in the greatest of circumstances. He's not an orchestrator playing point guard, so it can get a little tricky for guys like that. It's just several guys like that who are really talented, but they're just scorers who happen to be a little shorter than everybody else. So they're forced to be point guards when they should probably be twos. Devontae Graham's one of those guys. But I'd take Devontae Graham on my team 100 times out of 100 after what I saw last year. I know exactly who he is. And he's starting to round into form. He didn't look all that great yesterday, but I think it was, his second or third game back or something like that. Give him a little time. But PJ Washington, another guy on the Hornets that I like a lot. He had a pretty solid game, did what he does. Miles Bridges electrified the three players in the crowd. Of course, three fans in the crowd. It ain't too many here at Staples. But things are opening up hopefully soon. We don't have to wear these much longer. So, basically what I saw down there was a whole lot of fun, a lot of action, a lot of activity, a lot of spirited energy. Kuzma is shooting well. Trez gave me all that I needed from him. But I tell you the truth. The Lakers, it was one player that made the difference out there. You're going to be surprised who it is, I think. But it was one of these situations where this guy's on the floor and we're doing great. We're up by 12, something like that. He sits down and we're down. It's that simple. Go for 14.
Yeah, you can make it for final.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So, to make a long story very, very short, the player that I'm trying to refer to is Damien Jones. He was the difference for me last night. And the reason being is because of shot blocking presence. He just makes it difficult on the defense. Everybody was frustrated when Damien Jones was on the floor. And I mean everybody. Anybody wearing teal last night was having a tough time in that first quarter, trying to shoot over that dude, trying to get in the lane with him down there. He was just packing everything. It was a block party. And we just didn't play him that much. And I know he's a 10-day guy. I know he's supposed to be a scrub. He's not supposed to be somebody that we're considering to be our center or the future or anything like that. But I'm here to tell you, there are not a whole lot of things a center needs to do for me. In this era, you don't have to do a whole lot. What I need you to be able to do is run the floor, roll off of picks, play above the rim, pull down some boards, and for God's sakes, block shots. Damien Jones does all of those things very, very well. Now, is he the highest basketball IQ player, highest skilled guy? No. But for what you need him to do, he's exactly what you need. And he does make things difficult on everyone playing against him. He doesn't have to be that great. He just has to be DeAndre Jordan light, and that's exactly who he is. So we need to keep that kid, play him, give him his little $20, $40 million, whatever you're going to pay him. But understand that this is somebody whose upside is yet to be determined based on what he brings to the table and how much trouble he gives defenses just by standing there with his arms up. He's one of those. So, and he does have superior athleticism. He really is DeAndre Jordan light because he jumps like DeAndre Jordan, catch all the lobs, he can do all those things, and he has really, really good timing on his block shots. Better than most. Weak side, fantastic. So what I would tell everybody is, understand this. He played for the Phoenix Suns and the Atlanta Hawks, two very bad franchises during some of the worst tenures they've had, and he was the back of the bench player as a rookie. So if you were expecting him to blow your socks off in those situations, good luck. But he's found his way here, and he's doing everything we need him to do, and I want to sign him to a multi-year contract because I think that much of what he brings to the table. Plus, he's young. He's a baby. Dude's what, in his early 20s? Come on, man. Sign this dude, keep this dude, and let's continue to block shots because that's ultimately what we need our centers to do. All of our guys are so undersized, this and that. At the end of the day, when you have a Damien Jones, you keep him and you keep him happy. My name is BDF44. Thank you guys for watching.